You think you have discovered Noah's Ark, right?
I believe so.
You know you've discovered Noah's Ark.
I believe so.
Hello and welcome to ID 21. Good show on tap today, don't you think?
Yes, I think so. Hello, and we're going to be with Ron WYATT today, visiting with him. He's an archaeologist, and it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, he says he's discovered Noah's Ark. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that and several other findings.
Yeah, we shall see.
Okay.
Sounds good to me, so stay right where you are. We'll be right back.
All right.
We've brought back a good-sized deck timber, for example, for analysis purposes. We've brought back some rivets that were used to hold the timbers together.
Well, you might call him Indiana Jones, but his real name is Ron WYATT, and he's definitely on a crusade.
Yes, and among other things, Ron WYATT believes that he has discovered Noah's Ark, and we met up with Ron at his Museum of Ancient Mysteries. Here's today's Life Matters segment.
Well, we're with Ron WYATT here in the Museum of Ancient Mysteries.
Right.
What is this place all about?
Well, Larry, this is a place that I've dreamed about for years. A place where we can display all of the research on these several archaeological sites that we believe represent the remains of major events recorded in the Bible.
And the big one is right back here.
That's correct.
Noah's Ark.
Right.
You think you have discovered Noah's Ark, right?
I believe so.
You know you've discovered Noah's Ark.
I believe so.
Why?
Yes. Well, there's a multitude of reasons. We have found that, for example, Moses used the Royal Egyptian cubit. When he said cubit, he was talking 20.6-inch cubit.
Now, is that from the finger to the here or longer?
That happened later.
Okay.
In Egypt, they were building pyramids and temples and all of this. So if you have a tall fella that's the emperor when you start, and you have a midget that's the emperor when you finish.
Could be the cubic of man then, whatever his height is.
Yeah. So anyway, you would end up with a strange-looking structure. So they had a standardized cubit, and these have been found. Now, most people, when they're doing what's called biblical archaeology, they assume that since this has something to do with the Hebrews, that the Hebrew cubit was used, but this is not the case. The Hebrew cubit didn't come into use till approximately 400 years after Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. So anyway, this object that has survived out there in a fossilized condition is exactly 300 Royal Egyptian cubits long, right? And considering the splay and other distortions that have been forced upon it by the forces of nature, it's also 50 cubits wide and 30 cubits high.
Have you brought back some artifacts from the Ark? We have. Have you brought back some artifacts from the Ark? We have.
Yes, we've brought back a good-sized deck timber, for example, for analysis purposes. We've brought back some rivets that were used to hold the timbers together. We've brought back some metallic ballast material. This appears to be tailings from aluminum alloy production, for example, and it would act as a very heavy ballast. Also, Noah may have had in mind using this as a source of metal after the flood. So, having not been there and talked with him about it, we can only speculate about what he had in mind.
Now, the Ark was made out of gopher wood, is that correct?
It was made out of laminated wood, which of course is gopher wood.
That's what gopher wood is.
That's right.
Laminated wood.
That's you've seen ladies' pleated skirts. These were popular back in the 50s. Anyway, these the machine that made those are called gophering machines in England. And that's where they, first were put in.
So what type of wood did they use?
It could be any kind of wood, but the Ark in particular has 3 layers, and the 2 outer layers are cypress. For some reason or the other, this is very resistant to decay and to attack by critters that usually like to eat wood. I don't know if it doesn't taste good, doesn't have any nutritional value, or whatever. And then the center board of these 3 is some real hard wood like teak or ebony or something of that nature.